Hey everybody, Chris McGarahan Junior here. Welcome to the video, how to get out of the rut. You see, on the road to success, while building a business, building your entrepreneurship, there's one thing that is absolutely for certain: problems are going to occur. There's going to be days and times where you know you've got to produce, you know you've got to do a little bit of work at that exact moment, but you just don't feel like it for whatever reason. Could be a little bit depressed from something happening in life. Could physically or mentally just be exhausted. But there's something that has to get done. Now, before I get into how to get out of this rut, mentally, physically, etc., let me break down that this moment is where true success stories are made or crashed. When you're faced with a situation, a circumstance, an event, where you know you have to do it, but you just don't really feel like it, that's when true champions are made. Now, it's not that easy. Just knowing that in general isn't going to help you when that time comes get over the hump. So, what I'm going to break down for you is really the 3-step process on how, when you're in this rut, you can get out of it and actually produce. So, step 1 is, after you evaluate, I've got this on my to-do list, I'm looking at my schedule, I've got something to do, but I'm in my afternoon crash, or I'm waking up early in the morning and I'm just not feeling it today, whatever the reason may be. Now, you evaluate that. Ask yourself, what's the worst job, the worst thing to make money that I ever had to do? Right? I do this exercise with a lot of people that I work with. I say, what's the worst job you've ever had? And sometimes I get answers, working at Burger King. Oh, I had to do a 12-hour shift at this job and then go be a bouncer at a nightclub for another 12 hours. And I was literally just nonstop, exhausted all the time, living off energy drinks. It was terrible, right? Ask yourself, evaluate, what's just the worst thing you ever had to do to get by, just to make a couple bucks to pay the bills, right? Let's go with Burger King. Flipping hamburgers and making french fries all day for some pretty cranky, pretty upset, not the most positive atmosphere, so to speak, and you're virtually making no money. Right? After taxes, you're leaving home at the end of the day with maybe 30, 40 bucks in your pocket. So, evaluate that. Now, that's what I had to do at one point to make money. And now ask yourself this: do I ever want to go back to that job? Do I ever want to go back to flipping hamburgers to make 30 or 40 bucks in a day? Well, the answer is normally going to be no. So, now do this. After you evaluate that's the worst job I've ever had, now look at the business, the to-do list that you currently have, and ask yourself, is it that bad? Look at the list. Okay, I've got to make 5 phone calls before 12 p.m. Okay, I don't really feel like doing that. But if I don't, I got to go back to Burger King. Now, I've got to make this spreadsheet for all my clients. Okay, you don't have to, but if not, you got to go back to Burger King. All right, all the things that at that exact moment you don't feel like doing, fantastic. It's okay, but just tell yourself, if I don't do this, where I control my own destiny, it's very simple work. If I don't do this, I got to go back to flipping burgers for relatively no money. Now, when you do that, you start to appreciate your business, your opportunity, even your job, the new job that you have. You start to appreciate it a little bit more. When that happens, you're going to get a sense of gratitude. You're going to start feeling grateful. Man, I'm so grateful that I have this business where I run my own schedule. I control how much money I want to make. I'm the boss. No one's telling me what to do or how to do it. I am in control of my destiny. Wow, how lucky am I? You get that sense of gratitude. Not just that you have the skills to make it happen, but that you have the opportunity, that you have the know-how. Hey, I can chase my dream. That's a situation that most people don't get. So you get this sense of gratitude. But now step 3, because step 1 is going back to the worst job you ever had and saying, okay, if I don't work today on my business, I got to go back to that job. Step 2 is you get a sense of gratitude. Be grateful that you have the opportunity to be an entrepreneur, that you don't have to go back to Burger King. You can run your own ship. And then step 3, and this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where champions are made or fall. Take action. Here's the reason why. We get this temporary emotion of motivation. It happens to all of us. The one thing with motivation and inspiration is it doesn't last forever. It comes in temporary spurts. So when those spurts come, and make no mistake, after the first 2 steps, you're going to get motivated and inspired to the nth degree. When that comes, don't waste this feeling. Don't waste this opportunity. When it comes, stop thinking, pick up the phone, and make your phone calls. When it comes, maybe you're producing content for social media, get in front of the camera, get on your computer, and start creating. If it's time to structure price points or build a database, don't think, just do it. Just take action. Now, this falls into a saying that really helped me as a young entrepreneur when I was first getting started in the game. I read this in a book, and I heard this from my mentors, and I decided, one day, let me apply it to my own life. When you know you've got to do something, but you don't feel like doing it, that's when you need to do it. Now, let me repeat that, and then I'll elaborate. When you know you've got to do something, there's something on your to-do list that literally it's due at the end of the day. Like, there's no and, ifs, or buts about it. There's something that you've got to do, but you just don't feel like it. You want to procrastinate. That's the moment that you should do it. Because what I've realized, I don't like to touch too much on law of attraction and energy, but I do know a thing or two about it. I've interviewed some of the most brilliant minds in the law of attraction business. Here's what happens. The law of attraction, this world that's floating above us and evaluating every step we make, it sees, oh, Joe's down there, he's got a to-do list, he doesn't feel like it, but he did it anyways. Boom, that's a big check mark. That's a big gold star for Joe. And the more these you accumulate, what I've noticed, not just in my own life, in my mentors' lives, but in people that I consult and train with on a daily, weekly basis, is the more they do this, the more gold stars they get, the more opportunities come to them. The more money they end up making. And the more habitual this action that they didn't feel like doing in the first place, the more habitual, meaning the more of a habit this action becomes. So after a few weeks of doing this, that action that they were dreading about now becomes comfortable. Now it becomes normal. And once the hustle, once the work, once the grind in entrepreneurship just becomes your normal comfort zone, that's when you become a superstar. But this is the first step, to reiterate. Evaluate what's the worst job you've ever had. 2, get grateful for the opportunity that you're working on right now. And then 3, take massive and immediate action in that spurt of inspiration and motivational time. And if you do this, let's fast forward a little bit. Have faith in this training. If you do this over the long period of time, and you'll start to see results pretty quickly here, but entrepreneurship's a lifestyle. As this starts to add up, those gold stars start to accumulate. You'll start getting, having, being, and doing anything and everything you want out of life. So, is it worth it? I think so. So, with that being said, I want to thank you for watching. My name is Chris McGarahan Junior. We'll see you next time.